Imagine yourself floating above your bed, your back against the ceiling, and staring at yourself while sleeping. For many, this could be a terrifying and frightening experience. For others, this could be a mind-awakening experience, allowing them to discover more about themselves and possibly the universe. Today we'll be discussing the topic of astral projecting, or otherwise known as an out-of-body experience. What is astral projecting? Well, first we'll talk about what exactly astral projecting is, then we will take a more in-depth analysis behind the definition, and then last we'll talk about some tips and techniques on how to actually do this. Astral projection is an ability or an awareness which transcends the five senses. It is a trance-like meditative state which should not be confused with dreaming, because unlike dreaming is the actual process of one's soul actually leaving the body. Now, it is kind of like sleeping in that your body is asleep, but your mind is actually conscious and awake. Now that we have an understanding of the basic concepts of astral projecting, let's begin comparing and analyzing. According to anatomyatlas.org, part of the brain which allows for this visualization to take place is the pineal gland. This is the part of the brain which allows for the visualization to take place. It's also known as the third eye or the mind's eye. It helps regulate sleep and wake patterns also. Subsequently, there are many differences between the astral plane and the physical world. There is no such thing as time in the astral plane. There's no such thing as time. There's no physical laws, so your spirit can do anything. It can visit any world, any dimension. And there's a few things you should know before we try to explain some techniques or tips. It's important to know that there are positive, negative, and neutral spirits just like us that are either human or non-human. And but you shouldn't be worried at all. You should only worry about fear itself, because there's a silver cord attached to your soul which allows for you to actually be safe, and you could just think of being in your bed and you just zap right back into your body. This is from the website occultopedia.com. Once you master astral projection, and the universe becomes totally open for exploration. You can view past lives, you can travel through time, you can heal others, and yes, you can even engage in astral sex with other spirit partners. I know some of you may be thinking, where's the evidence to prove this actually exists? Well, there is no evidence to prove this actually exists. How would you prove this? You would have to ultimately do it yourself, and to prove it to someone else, you would have to be in spirit form and watch them doing something only they would know, or watch them saying something only they would know. So, now that you're actually considering this being a possibility of being a real phenomenon, think of your body as a shell, and enabling you to be the real you to be on this planet. Now, think of a period of time on this earth going by, and your spirit leaving that shell. Kind of like a hermit crab that's looking for a new shell, a new life, or a new journey. If you're wondering how in the world does a person force their own soul out of their body, I'd like to discuss some tips and techniques on how to actually do this. Remember, always keep a positive mind, a clear mind. You want to make sure you're in a safe place. No one can distract you. You want to be able to get in that state where you actually visualize yourself climbing out of your body. And you also want to make sure that you're vibrating on a higher frequency, which simply means that you're changing the energy of the state of your energy to a higher frequency, so you can allow more positive spirits to come in. And you have the option, once you're out of your body, to actually view yourself while you're sleeping, and that's pretty scary, and that's called dual awareness. They say if it's your first time, you shouldn't do this because you can scare yourself back into a normal state. But now that we've took a deep inside look and a basic concept look of astral projection, and we've talked about some tips and techniques on how to do this, maybe you feel more comfortable with the idea of life after death. Or maybe since there's no scientific evidence to prove this actually exists, maybe you feel more content believing this is the only reality possible. Whatever it is that you think about the subject matter, it is important to always keep a positive, open mind. And whenever giving a speech, it's always important never to persuade your audience on the topic. With that being said, just because you can't prove something through science doesn't mean it's not true. Take the O.J. Simpson trial, for example. Thank you.